Hello, hello, and ahoy, hoy! Here we are. I kind of like jumped right in because I was like ready at like 6:20 for this episode. So I was like, okay, I almost wanted to go early. But I was like, no, I probably shouldn't do that. Probably shouldn't mess with the schedule too much. I do that enough, I think. You know, welcome to another episode of Tootie's Toy Box. I am, of course, your host, Miss Tootie Odin. As always, it's good to be here. It's been a week, I think, for a lot of us, especially pop culture speaking. We are in mourning, some of us. If you were here last week, the episode we did last week was about specifically that pop culture and why we grieve for people we don't know. It was a timely episode. It was made right after Hayden Panettiere's passing, sudden passing, really. And then, this week we do have the passing of beloved Dolly Parton and Tim Curry. And there's others that really sunk their teeth into pop culture between the years of the 1960s to 2026 now. So there is a huge gap of people that are now currently missing from the pop culture world, and it's understandable to know and see that people are grieving about it. I got a bubble in here, and I don't want to burp it out because that's disgusting. So my bad. I'm trying to like fight it down. But I hope you guys have had a wonderful week. Otherwise, like I said, it has been tough pop culture wise. We have been, experiencing sudden losses, here and there and everywhere. So, hold it together, especially for millennials. I think for us specifically, we feel like our timelines are shrinking in a sense because of how many people that we love and grew up with are disappearing. I remember when John Candy passed away, which was years ago, eons ago, in fact, and how hard that hit me as a kid. I was still a kid when John Candy passed away, but he reminded me so much of my own uncle, who we call Uncle Buck. And it was just, it's just interesting to understand as adults now, relating to these people in one way or another. It's weird because we don't know them. We think we know them. I just recently finished the third season of Tires, Shane Gillis's Shane Gillis's show. Um, it was so good. It was so brilliant, and it was heartwarming and touching, and I was cheering him on, and you get invested in these things. My best friend always tries to get me to watch certain things. And honestly, like it's so hard. It's so hard for me to invest in watching something that's a series, especially a longer series, because once it's over, my heart hurts. And I don't think I'm alone in that feeling. Once all of that is over, my heart hurts. Oh my God. I really should learn to turn my phone down before I start this. So unprofessional. And I'm a producer, by the way. You know what I mean? I'm just poor. That's why this doesn't look very good. I'm just fucking poor. But I assure you, wow, I just turned that down. I really did. I just turned it down. What happened? All right, there we go. Much better. Much better. Let me make sure that we are here on the YouTube as I am producing this show alone by myself. And we are here. Nice. Let's go. Oh, there's chat here already. What? We haven't even started. What are you guys doing? Lord of Illusions. I freaking hate that movie, by the way. Never watch Lord of Illusions, you guys, if you haven't seen it. It's a ridiculous movie from the 1980s. I have one more thing that I have to do now that we're live so that I can share the thumbnail of us being live, thinking that's going to help, right? I'll wait on that just a little bit. Tonight's episode, I couldn't wait to talk about this, if I'm being really honest, because this situation is fascinating me, like it's freaking fascinating to me. The Cyberleek situation that's happening right now with GTA 6. I've been following it since it started. I'm a grown woman now, but when I was a teen, when I was a young adult, I was an avid protester. I was one of the very first ones on the front line for the We Are the 1% back in 2011. So like, when protests started to become a thing again, because they've always been something, but when they started to gain impact, I was right there. I was right there on the front lines. I spent a whole week on the front lawn of City Hall in Los Angeles, downtown LA, with many other people. And I'm a believer. I'm a believer in fighting for what you need to fight for and what you believe in. So when I saw this Cyberleak thing, I was all for it. I was like, oh my God, is this guy for real? Is this really happening? Are we really like threatening? Do we really have a gun to the head of a corporation? I thought that was really cool. And then little by little, we're going to get there, right? Little by little, things kind of just started to unravel about this entire situation. So we are going to get into it. We're going to get as deep as possible because honestly, it was really hard to find what was real and what was not real when it came to this entire situation. It was hard to find leaks that were genuine. It was, as opposed to AI generated leaks, it was hard to discern what was real about what was real about Cyberleak and what wasn't, which sucked, was kind of confusing. Um, I'm like religiously on X, so I was trying to figure out if I can find things there. Now, according to Reddit users, Cyberleak was never on X, but there is an account, a Cyberleak account there that has over 264,000 followers. So, and then there's another one that has 3,000 followers. And then there's another one that has 200 followers. So it was really hard to see what was real and what was not, outside of the parentheses of parody account. You know what I mean? But it didn't make it any easier, if I'm being honest, because all three of those accounts were busy posting supposed leaks about this entire situation. So it was very confusing, but overall very fascinating because Cyberleak started talking about a kill switch. If they catch me, everything's going to be leaked, within whatever a few hours. I didn't know how that worked, but apparently they had a kill switch so that if they were caught, then they would be pushing it through regardless. So there was all of that. I did write a tiny blurb about it just to intro it, just a little bit. So here I go. Cyberleak refers to a major unauthorized GTA 6 gameplay plus story content leaked online, initially on August 18th, with more clips being released for the next 48 hours after. The leaker embedded watermark advertisements for a cryptocurrency on the video files. We're going to get into that, by the way. A manifesto was also published criticizing digital-only releases, mandatory online sign-ins, and anti-consumer pre-order practices in the modern gaming industry. So this guy was out for blood. This guy was out, and he's saying the things that we want somebody to say. He's saying the things that we were saying. You know what I mean? Like, to go fully digital is asinine for people who are actually spending money on something like this. I don't own this. You're telling me I can't own this, but I still have to pay money to buy it. They're trying to make fetch happen, in that they're trying to make it like streaming services. You can rent a movie. We don't own those movies on the streaming services. We don't own anything that Netflix provides, Amazon Prime provides for us. Once Home Alone 2 is gone, it's gone. Shout out Tim Curry. But once Home Alone 2 is gone, it's gone. We can only watch it and hold on to it for the moment that it's there. That's why they do the coming soon, and then they do the going away soon and all that. They warn you that these things will go away, and we can't record them without it being shitty quality, right? So it's not like we can rediscover these films. I don't know about you and your family, but we dissolved all of our DVDs. For the most part, we have a few, but for the most part, we dissolved all of our physical media, thinking that digital was going to be the way to go. And it was supposed to be the way to go, but it wasn't supposed to be this expensive. So there's that. So now we are at odds between consumer and corporation. And I think Cyberleak was trying to make an example of Rockstar. Or were they? Is Cyberlink part of this entire thing this whole time? So we're going to get into it. The first thing I wanted to share with you is one of the leaks, right? One of the leaks. But before I do that, let me take care of some homework real quick, because like I said, and by myself. So there's certain things that I have to do um, alone, and I'm trying to experiment with something here. So bear with me for 1 second. Um, there we go. I'm trying to see like what viewership does um if I post it while I'm live, you know what I mean? So I'm just letting you guys know what's going on. I'm not trying to be a weirdo about it. Oops. It'd be helpful if I knew how to spell, right? And I actually did have something that I wanted to share with you guys when it came to the the actual trailer that Netflix showed us. Um, I was trying to download that clip because, man, it was one of my favorites throughout the entire trailer. And I did watch the whole trailer this afternoon, and I was definitely blown away by it. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this game looks fun as hell. And the portion I'm talking about, which unfortunately I kept downloading it, but either you guys didn't get shit quality for it when you can watch it elsewhere with better quality. So I didn't want to do that to you guys. But if you guys already watched the trailer, there is a certain part of this trailer where they are in a car, Lucia and Jason are in a car, and he has to hop into the back seat. His his new boss apparently, spoilers, his new boss apparently hands him a gun, and he has to pop his butt out the window and start shooting at cops. It was smooth as hell. For being actual gameplay, I think the transition from the video to actual gameplay was amazing, especially there. I think the gun movements are beautiful. A little bit of the melee that we saw was amazing, if you ask me. Smoother. Me and my best friend were just talking about this, where like the movements are a little bit janky still, but the way Lucia's hair moves and like they did their homework. Now, did they do 13 years work of homework? No, not to me. Not to me. Not from what I saw. That was not 13 years work of work to me, given that I've seen some of this stuff already in other video games and been like, oh my god, it's blown away. Yes, you get blown away by some of the stuff, especially millennials, because this is an industry that we grew up with. We saw this come to fruition from Tetris and Centipede and all these other games to what it is now. So it's interesting to see the age gap in the reviews, because the younger kids, aside from Asman Gold, who is absolute ass, Asman Gold is a piece of shit. Like, he just sucks as a human being. Don't listen to him. But either way, like most streamers or most YouTubers who are like, this is so mid and this is buns and all the things that they say, were children. Like they're in their teens or 20s or even early 30s, I suppose. But they grew up with a different style of video game altogether. They were spoiled. I really didn't turn this down. I really they were spoiled in this industry. In a sense. And I know I don't mean that in a negative way, because good for them. Good for them. They grew up in an era where video games were way more advanced. But there's also the con of that, in that they didn't get to see where it came from, so they won't understand why we're so blown away of what they're doing with it now. All of it's fine. All of it's really understandable. But the game is not mid, as far as I can tell. I think it's going to be a really fun game. The transitions between playing as Jason and Lucia look interesting, look fun. I'm kind of excited for it. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people are. And given that we are in that state of mind of excitement, a lot of people are like, boo, like Cyberleek, because you didn't really release shit. You didn't do anything, and your reign is over now. So like I said, we're going to get into it. I want to show you the first leak, one of the first leaks that he put out. It's shitty quality. It's somebody who I think downloaded the file and is looking at it. So it's very short. But this is just a small example of what we were given just a few days ago. Oh, that's it. Sorry. So, it's I think that leak, was more of I just want to prove to you that I have this, and that I have these files, and that I have this stuff. But everything that Cyberleak released was kind of a big nothing burger. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't releasing things of relevance. There was a couple things that were released, like Lucia ends up in jail, I guess. I don't know if that's real, so I'm not sure if that's even a spoiler. But Lucia ends up in prison, and she's negotiating with the guards and whatnot. And the scene that was leaked, again, I don't know if that's real or not, because it's never been confirmed. That's what makes this thing so fascinating, is with the confusion of AI, with the confusion of all these meta shits that are happening now. We don't know what's what anymore. And that's the thing that I think these companies are kind of banking on. We didn't show you everything, but neither did Cyberlink. And according to the internet, Cyberlink didn't show us anything. There's another one that he released yesterday that was of a nudist colony, apparently. Now, I don't know how much of it was a nudist colony, but there is a brief scene in the Netflix trailer that was released today where they're at a pool briefly. In the leak that he exposed, he I think it's Jason, that he pushes a naked woman into the pool. Pushes her into the pool, kills her, I assume. Um so that's the only connection that I got from that. Is I do remember a pool scene in one of the leaks, a naked woman and the fella pushing her into the pool, and she's like floating and she's dead and blah blah blah. And again, I don't know if it's real or not. So it makes things more confusing. Now, if that's the leak he wanted to go with, I guess maybe this is a real protest. Maybe this is really a group of people, group of really smart hackers who understood the assignment, and just started leaking nothing in order to gain their cryptocurrency, um, uh, in order to grow their crypto coin, right? But there's this also. There is this idea, or this total joker shit, where he doesn't give a shit about the coin, apparently. Give me 1 second. Let me find it. I don't know why I closed everything out. That was a lie. But apparently he dissolved $1.4 million worth of his coin in order to prove that this had nothing to do with money. It's got nothing to do with piss. Hold on. Yes, please share. So yeah, GTA 6 leaker, Cyberleek just burned $1.4 million worth of his own tokens to prove he isn't doing this for money. Fine. In the fine print there, can I get closer? It says burn 270,000 coins, approximately 1.4. You know what I mean? So he dissolved them completely, in order to make sure that people understood that this had nothing to do with that. My problem with that is that's also digital. That's also digital money. Like, I don't trust crypto for that exact reason, because it's fucking digital money. It's not real. I can't touch it. It's not physical. I can't pay for something with a digital. I can't go up to somebody with my lap. I mean, technically, I suppose I could, but I can't go up to somebody with my laptop and be like, "Hey, take this and please tap it so that you can take my payment of $1.4 million." So like it's hard to tell what's real and what's not with this entire situation. Now, a lot of people take crypto coins seriously. Okay, fine. That's good, I guess. Good for you. Good for your future. Um, I don't. I've never trusted it. I don't encourage anybody else to get into it or trust it. But I do understand the motivation behind it and the encouragement behind it, and how people actually um, want to make money this way. And just so you guys know, I'm going to close this out real quick. Just so you guys know, at the end of the day, as of today, This is how much his cryptocurrency is made. Now, these are numbers I gathered a few hours ago. So whether it's true or real not, I couldn't tell you whether it's accurate. As far as now, maybe it's higher, maybe it's lower, but the number I got for as much money as he made is $263,000 distributed to 4 separate digital wallets. So that being said, that's nothing. $263,000 in internet money is absolutely fucking nothing. Not a thing. Spread across 4 wallets, mind you. So obviously this is a group. If it's real, obviously Cyberleek is a group of people, right? A group of 4 apparently, and 263 divided by 4 people isn't that much money for being a crypto coin that you're trying to sell, and this is over. It's over. The trailer's out. There isn't much more that he can leak that's going to be paid attention to, because he leaked nothing in the beginning. Nothing of significance. And then once he apparently started releasing spoilers is when people decided to tune out. I thought that was silly, if I'm being honest. I thought that was really silly, but my best friend made a good point about, I don't want to play and invest 15 hours or 9 hours or whatever it is of my time but already know the outcome of what I'm investing in. I get it. Makes complete sense. That's the whole point of video games. It's escapism, just like most pop culture, right? And you don't want to already know the end. You don't want to know who wins. You don't want to know that Lucia goes to prison. And again, I don't know if that's real or not. It's out there. I don't know how real it actually is. So there's that. So you want to get there on your own. You want to build it. That's the whole point of the game. So it's understood. But again, $263,000. Was it really worth $263,000 to do all that and think that I'm going to make a difference in the world? Was it even about making a difference? Was it even about protesting digital? Rockstar's response. Let's get there. I'm going to put it out for you guys, and I am going to read it. I'm sure you guys saw it already. They put out a response yesterday about this entire situation. And I think a lot of people are actually waiting for them to do this. I am going to read it to you now. Oh, I gotta find it. The account that I downloaded it from completely deleted itself, which is really weird, actually. But here is what Rockstar had to say about the entire situation. And again, I didn't like it. I didn't like their response to this entire thing because it was a crybaby. But let's go. Dear all, we know that many of you have been waiting to hear from us regarding the events of the past week. It would be an understatement to say that having videos of Grand Theft Auto 6 gameplay leak in this way has been heartbreaking for our team. And this is obviously not how we intended for you to see the game after all of this time. We are very sorry that everything has taken as long as it has, from getting the game finished, nearly there. They're not even finished. It's been 13 years. Anyway, they're not even finished with the game. 13 years, ladies and gentlemen. To sharing more details and official gameplay, and providing the community with everything you want to know. We are very excited for everyone to see the extended look today. It has taken longer than we wanted to get it ready, but as with everything we do, we know we need to exceed your expectations, and we are determined to deliver at the level you expect and deserve. While it is unfortunate that the intended game experience may now be impacted by some spoilers, we hope that everyone will wait a bit longer to experience the game for themselves on November 19th. We want to thank everyone in the community who has reached out with messages of support this past week. Your words have meant more to this team than you can imagine. Ultimately, we are making this game for you, and without you, we would not have the privilege of making games. We look forward to sharing more with you soon. Sincerely, Rockstar Games. Okay. First of all, they're crying. And they're like, wait, but it's not our fault. But I mean, you guys waited forever, and like, like, oh, our bad. Like, we know it took forever, but so what I think a lot of people are expecting is, one, a goddamn physical copy of the game, and two, a better version of it. I think, a lot of people are nitpicking, and the reason why they're nitpicking at this is because they had 13 years to figure it out better. I personally think, because like I said, I came from the age of early video games. I personally think they did a great job on this game. Excuse me. I do. I think they did a wonderful job on this game. I look forward to watching the gameplay. Will I play it if my brother-in-law buys it? Because I'm not buying it. I can go to my brother-in-law's house and like play it there, while he's gone. So maybe I'll play it, but I'll definitely watch the gameplay. This game looks amazing. It's like hands down. Anybody who's in the chat, I would love to hear your opinions on what you think about it, because I feel like I'm ranting. I did want to share with you guys also the CEO. I'm sorry, a co-founder's experience with their, and their opinion on how they feel about physical media. Now, I gathered that he didn't think physical media is absolutely necessary for this game. And I'll be honest with you guys, I think he makes a good point. The game is huge. So how are they going to do that? Let me share real quick.
Media versus digital. Do you have an opinion? Do you want your games to be released on physical media? Do you not care?
I don't know that I care. But if people want that, I think companies should provide it. But I don't know that I personally care.
Sure.
As critical as people are of digital releases, the ability to update and fix problems in games has been really useful for the quality of games.
Physical.
I mean, it makes sense. Kind of makes sense. Unless there's something I don't know about physical media that can carry a massive map, right? My thing, because I'm old, how do you explain the revision on physical media, right? Like, is that even a possibility? Because I know once the game is online, you can reformat things, like most games now that are online. Fortnite is like that. What's the one with Norman Reedus and he's in the snow? Last Man Standing or something is exactly like that, and that's another great one. Oh, what a cop out! They didn't even mention the physical copies. Right? Exactly. In their statement, they didn't mention it, and that was his whole thing. Cyberleek's whole thing was like, but like, please, like, fuck digital. Like, we want physical. That statement of it's just too big, I can kind of understand it. But again, I don't know how physical media works when it comes to online. Everybody's going to be playing it online because everybody wants Death Stranding. That's what it's called. Thank you. Everybody's going to want to play it online, right? Everybody's going to want to play with the homies and talk to other people. That's kind of the point of video games now. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry, you guys. I need to use my inhaler. So sorry. Give me 1 second. I know, I'm like a big fat nerd. I get it. I'm so sorry. I had no choice because I feel like I'm wheezing and the microphone on the laptop is going to pick up the wheezing. So I'm sorry. I had to do what I had to do. This is live, ladies and gentlemen, and I do not edit and I do not change things because live is everything, and it will be. I promise you. Live, authentic media is going to become a thing again, and I can't wait for that to happen because everybody's fake. Tired of the fake. We're tired of faking the funk, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, I think he had a valid point that physical media would stunt the game, basically. I can see that. Again, this is without understanding exactly how that type of technology works. But I don't see you being able to revise your physical media DVD, CD into what other people are doing, unless there's updates, right? I mean, I don't know. personally, I don't know how it works because I haven't slid a video game into a console in 6 years, actually. So I don't know how that works. Um, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna work. So I think he actually made a good point, which fucking sucks because I would want a physical copy of my game too. You know? Um, let's talk Xbox. Let's talk Xbox real quick. I don't intend to play. I have two sensitive dispositions. Everybody dies in that game, so I get it. Everyone dies. I'm also not gonna play the game because I don't look. The game looks really fun. It, the first 2 or 3 when we were kids were amazing. Like, oh my god, total anarchy! I can just kill people. I can just shoot people. What the heck? It was fun. It was fun for the time because it wasn't something that we saw on a day-to-day basis at the time. It was rare occasions with Columbine and 9/11 and these very big ones. But then, then these real life tragedies started coming in waves, and it kind of made it harder to enjoy something that was fantasy like that. No judgment against anybody who does enjoy that as fantasy. Good for you. Like I said, the game looks fun as hell. So do what you got to do. Enjoy it because I'm certainly going to watch live streams of this game being played because it looks fun. It looks like a lot of fun. Like I said, dude, the transitions between playing as Lucia and playing as Jason, I'm very curious as to how they're going to do that because you kind of do have to play as both at one time. So I'm really, really, really interested to see how they're going to do that. Invested in the digital activism tale, though. Yeah, me too. Me too, because this is the future. Like, this is the future of gaming, and not just gaming, but the gaming is a gateway to the future of everything else. Pop culture does that. That's what pop culture is for. It's not necessarily for entertainment purposes and escapism the way we use it. It's to bring the next thing about. And the best way to do that is by entertainment. The best way to do the next best thing technologically, the next best thing government, the next best thing, weather, the next best thing, this and that, is to introduce it through pop culture. Because it's what we do. It's what we watch. We wake up to commercials, to our Folgers coffee, and then we think the best part of waking up. The second we take everybody, we have no idea how threaded and embedded we are with pop culture and how it's involved in our everyday to-day lives. Earworms, images, dreams. When we're asleep, dreams that we have. Like, oh man, I played that game all night and I dreamt about it like all night. It's embedded into our lives, into our brains, into our systems. So it's not uncommon to be invested in these things the way we are. I want to talk Xbox. I do. Asha Sharma, who is the new Xbox CEO, I personally was kind of like, oh no, like, okay, I'm going to confess. I'm not a fan of women in gaming. I'm not. But I'm also not a fan. I'm not against it. But women tend to move with their feelings as opposed to moving with what they're supposed to be doing. I've seen that already in several video games, several movies. Women want to move with emotion. Like, oh no, don't say that. That's so mean. And it just doesn't work. It doesn't work in video games because it doesn't work in reality. And video games are trying to be as close to reality as possible without, it's a thin line. There's a very thin veil between reality and video games nowadays. Okay. And I think there's a lot of women in the industry, new women, brand new, green, who are trying to pull those reins back. And I don't think that's the answer either. Just so you guys know, that's just my personal opinion. I don't think that's the answer either. But Asha Sharma did an interview, I think it was today or yesterday, in response to what's going on with when it comes to physical media. And I want to share that with you guys now. I think what she had today, I think what she had to say was very interesting. I think she meant it. But I do have some questions about what she had to say. So
I want Xbox to be where the world plays, and in order to be where the world plays, I know that.
Sorry, I'm going to start it over real quick.
I want Xbox to be where the world plays, and in order to be where the world plays, I know that players love physical media. We're announcing the ability for players for 1,000 titles with physical discs to be able to have a digital entitlement, and so they get the wonderful goodness that comes from digital libraries, but in the form of the physical libraries that they also have. The idea behind it is that it is very similar to owning your physical media now that you have it in digital form, and so if you then sell the disc, the digital entitlement will go with that, and you can receive that. And so I think that it's really a breakthrough in how we think about physical and digital media. And again, it's just the start.
Again, interesting take, interesting move on Xbox part, given Sony and PlayStation are doing the exact opposite. You cannot stream, you cannot do this, you cannot use, they totally moved not in the ways of the Nazi. You can't do anything with our media. Please buy it and spend money on it, but you can't do shit with it. You're not allowed to stream this because you don't have the license to do so. That's Sony's move. Xbox move is different, but is it? GTA, okay, she said, Wild Flores, I love you. GTA is the best high-profile game, so makes sense why they'd pick it for this physical copy standoff. But yeah, makes sense given the breadth and complexity of the game. It's most sensible for online. Yes, I agree. 1,000%. I agree 1,000%. That being said, I do remember playing physical copies of the Fallout games. My favorite, probably one of my favorite games in the world. Maybe not my favorite, but way up there. You did have the option of playing online. You didn't have the option of modifying the map, though. As far as I remember, you couldn't modify the map, and I think that's a huge selling point for gamers now because they're experienced. If they want a bridge where there is no bridge, they will put a bridge. If they want their name graffitied on a wall in bullet holes, then they'll do that too. That's what Leak did to prove that he actually pulled from the actual game. He grabbed a gun in the game and wrote Leak in bullets on a wall. So, you know, it's a give and take. It's a catch-22. You know, it's kind of both. Now, what Xbox is doing, I think it's smart in the short run. I don't think it'll make any sense in the long run. But again, this is me speaking kind of without a lot of modern experience when it comes to video games. The resale value, what is that going to be like? Because once a game is done, gamers do what gamers do. They will sell it if it's not a game that they want to replay again. Or they'll resell it because, you know, of the value and the high value of the game and whatnot. How does that work when you're able to continuously copy the game and the license just moves with the game? I'm sure the license moves with the game in order for you to be able to resell. So I think the resale value is there and Xbox understands that. But how lucrative is that, and how substantial? Like, how is that going to be sustainable for the consumer and also for Xbox? So that one kind of gets me. I like where she's going with it. I'll be honest. I think it's a smart move. I think it's the opposite of it's the direct opposite of what Sony is doing, like hands down. But it's just interesting to me that that's the move that they decided to make in this week. You know what I mean? That was something that she decided that they were ready to do this week. Sony's greed. That was the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is Sony and the move that they're making. The moves that they're making are asinine. You can please buy our game, but please, you cannot stream it anywhere and this and that. And then it's funny because Rockstar actually like put out a tweet today, or an X, whatever you call it now. But they said, just so you guys know, if you guys are streamers, you guys can totally like show people the trailer online and you won't get stricken for it. And it's like, oh, okay, thanks. Thanks, overlords. Thanks for that permission of what we were going to do anyway. You know what I mean? So it's funny. The video game industry really does have a gun to its head right now, for sure. There's no doubt about it. But at what expense? What is going to happen? What is going to change? Nothing. In my opinion, nothing. Streamers are still going to purchase the game, and they're going to do whatever it is they have to do to get the licenses approved in order for them to be able to stream it online. Streamers are definitely willing to do what it takes and jump through the hoops that they need to in order to make this happen, because streaming is lucrative. It works. I watch video game streams all the time, nonchalantly, in the background. So many people just have it on as noise because it takes care of their anxiety. Again, escapism. Escapism is the key. Escapism is gold to these people. They know why we're buying this game. They know that we want to leave the world that we're in now and escape to this other one, regardless of the game. Today it's GTA. Tomorrow it's something else. But they have our number. They have us figured it out. So, in closing, I have two questions. Is Cyberleek just Rockstar? That's question one. Is it just Rockstar putting this all out? Is it just them just trying to pretend to pull the reins back and be like, oh no, what do we do? We're so shook up. I don't know. I don't know if Cyberleek is actually a thing. And if this is not just a PR stunt by Rockstar. It wouldn't make any sense because Rockstar doesn't have to pull this move. That game, I want to buy the fucking game after seeing that trailer on Netflix. But I don't think it was a necessary thing for them to do. For them to have to fake a whole leak and put out nothing burger leaks of nothingness out into the ether. You know what I mean? It just doesn't seem right. Here's my other theory about it, though. Let's say Cyberleek is real. Let's say he wins. They win. Let's say Rockstar bends the knee and they want to start making, they're like, oh yeah, we're totally going to make physical copies of this game for you guys because, our bad, we were wrong, blah, blah, blah. Let's say that happens, right? So on November 19th, it's either going to be pushed back, and I think it will be pushed back for further. January, February is my personal prediction. If I'm wrong, I'll eat a crow or a chicken or a chicken nugget. I don't care. Fucking love chicken nuggets. Either that'll happen or they will make the physical copies, but they won't come out November 19th, obviously. So you're still going to buy the digital copy, and then you're going to buy the physical copy for nostalgia reasons. So they're going to tap into that market. Now Zoidberg is the popular one. I think that's it's possible. It's possible they'll make that move. So it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell how this is going to move forward. But I will tell you this: I don't see physical copies of this game happening. If it does happen, in my opinion, theoretically, this was all PR. Cyberlink was never real. This was all something that they planned to do in order for them to push digital. Everyone's going to buy digital. And then eventually, when physical comes out in January, they're going to fucking storm the stores to buy physical. That's what I think will happen, if I'm being really honest. My next question: what did Cyberleek actually accomplish? Nothing, in my opinion. Nothing. Cyberleek reign is over. Almost officially, as soon as that trailer came out. Nobody gives a shit what Cyberleek has to say because the trailer was satisfactory for the most part. I don't know any actual avid video gamer who isn't under the age of 20, whatever, who had anything bad to say about the trailer and is actually very much looking forward to this game. with good reason. Again, my personal opinion, parentheses, sidebar, 13 years they had, and the game should look 13-year perfection. This trailer should have been 13 years of perfection, and it wasn't. Not in my opinion. 13 years. Sorry, guys. Maybe there was high turnover. Maybe, COVID and this and that. I get it. There's circumstances that happen, but it doesn't change the fact that this game does not look like it was 13 years in the ground. So you're hatching this egg and it's still not ready. And that's fucked up. You toyed with your fans, you toyed with your consumers, in my opinion. Last question I have is, are you still buying the game? Is the game still going to be worth purchasing if they don't move into physical, if they don't move to make physical copies of the game? I think the answer is yes. If I was going to invest in this the way others are going to invest in this, the answer would be yes, because it looks fun. I unfortunately don't have the time personally to invest my time into it like that. But for those that do, they're going to do it anyway. There's so many in pre-order. I just seen a story today where a fella pre-ordered 500 copies, $50,000, $54,000 worth of this game. 500 copies in order to corner the market. That's what I'm going to corner the market and make sure that I can sell these, because it'll be worth 3 times more than what it is now come a few months later, when, you know what I mean? So people are heavily invested in this already. Already the pre-orders are flying off the shelves, so to speak. So was this a PR stunt? Were we trolled? Did we waste our time looking at these leaks? Me personally, did I waste my time finding leaks and scrolling constantly and refreshing the Cyberleek Reddits and this and that just to see nothing? Because from what I saw, nothing was available that was even worth it outside of the last 2 that were put out that are still objectively fake until we get the game. Because they certainly weren't leaked in the trailer. And Rockstar is smart for doing that. So if these are leaks that Cyberleek put out, they just put out that match by never leaking anything. The closest thing they leaked to what Cyberleek, the closest thing they put out to what Cyberleek leaked was a scene by the pool. That's it. That's it. And the scenes weren't very relatable outside of the pool and women being there. So who knows? Here's my thing, though. He knows something, or they, Cyberleek, know something. They have something. They certainly have enough, right, to know that these scenes were going to be there. Again, I don't know if Lucia goes to jail. I don't know if she's imprisoned, and any, and I'm not trying to like expose spoilers here, because I don't know if that's real or not. Even reading in the comments, even clicking on the links, there was no confirmation that any of this was real for me. That's the problem with AI and digital and all this other stuff, like crypto. In a second, it could change. Those AI scenes could change. Cryptocurrency could change. My coin was worth $33,000. Now it's worth, oh my God, it's worth $5. My bad. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's all not there. It's not real. It's not tangible. And that is the whole point of the protest. We want tangible. We want to feel what we're purchasing. We want solidarity in what we have, because we're investing our money, our energy, our time into these things. Give it to me. I want it. You can't just delete it. It can't just like mistakenly like glitch and delete because of a lightning bolt hit my neighborhood. It's weird. Digital is weird to me. I'm not comfortable with it. I'm old, so there's that. I get it. But I'm just not comfortable with it yet. And there's so many people that are in this position. And it's not just old people. It's not just people like me. It's younger people too, who understand that the future of video gaming, it will die with this digital thing. It will die. It'll advance, but it'll advance. and get more and more expensive, and it'll alienate its original audience eventually. Like anything else that goes digital, anything else that technologically changes, dies, or changes where it's just inaccessible to the layman. And I do believe that that's going to be the next move. Not tomorrow, not next year, but give or take a generation, maybe two, and the entire video game industry will collapse. That's just my personal opinion about it. Everybody's going to get tired of fake. Everyone's going to get tired of leasing. And if they don't, that sucks. Stop selling yourself for things that you can't own. You know, we're getting so used to the idea that we can't own certain things, but we're okay with that. This is huge. This is why this situation was fascinating to me, because if this Cyberleek person or persons is actually real, then they were trying to do something and send a message. They were trying to send a message not to Rockstar, to you. They were sending a message to us, telling us, hey, wake up, dummy. We don't want digital like this. We don't want this. Xbox's response, Asha Sharma's response with the best of both worlds, I'll take it. But this right here, that's ridiculous. Imaginary video games that I can own, I can just play, and then like maybe I keep it, maybe I don't. Home Alone 2 is leaving soon. Play it now. Watch it now before it goes. Nope. Our energy, our time, our money is not worth that, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope that's something that you guys, us, are able to keep in mind. It's just not worth it. Okay? You're passionate about something, you're a fan of something, do what you got to do. But just understand that all of this stuff is temporary. It's temporary unless it's not. Unless you have an ability to hold on to it and put it inside of something, plug it in, play the game. It's only temporary. We have DVDs at my mom's house. We have a handful of them that we kept, our favorite ones, that we can probably put in as long as we have electricity anytime we want. Don't have to worry about Prime, don't have to worry about Netflix, don't have to worry about Apple, nothing. Don't have to worry about coming soon. Don't have to worry about leaving soon. It's just there forever and ever. We can't lose that, you guys. I hope we don't. I hope we don't. Because the future of video gaming depends on that. The future of pop culture as a whole depends on that. The future of our escapism, our ways of leaving this world for just a few minutes, leaving where we're at for just a few minutes is crumbling. It's becoming non-existent. We're going to be smack dab faced with reality 24/7 because eventually our virtual world is going to crumble. It doesn't have a choice. All it takes is a power grid to go out, you guys. I think it's a matter of perspective. It's a matter of choosing wisely and a matter of choosing different and a matter of maybe being a little bit more open-minded to what we used to have because it wasn't broken. Something that wasn't broken, they're trying to fix. That doesn't make any sense in any world, in any scenario. If it's not broke, do not fix it. It's fine. I think I'm done. I think I ranted enough. I had a really good time having this conversation. I'm so happy I was able to get it all out with you guys. Thank you guys for joining me in this entire thing. I had a really good time talking to you guys. It was a really good discussion. But do what you have to do. The choice is yours, right? I'm only here to express my own opinion on what I would do and what I would choose when it comes to this. And the future of video games in general, not just GTA 6. Like I said, this game looks fun as hell. Not 13 years worth of waiting. Fun, really. But it does look like an amazing experience. I did have one more clip I wanted to show you guys, but I think I already told you I can't share it with you because it didn't come through correctly. And then if I recorded it the way I wanted to record it, it would just be grainy and gross. And it's like not even worth it. But I highly encourage you, if you have Netflix, please go check out the trailer. And in the comments, leave me your own opinion on what you think about it. I truly enjoyed it. But go watch it. Tell me what you think about it. I'd love to hear anybody else's opinion on this, because what if I'm wrong? I don't mind being wrong, but I like learning. I like learning as to what other people think is right and maybe what is right. So, commercial. So come and tell me. Come and talk to me. I have been your host, Miss Tootie Odin. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode and enjoying it with me. I had a blast, like I said. The Cyberleek Experience, ladies and gentlemen. What a weird week. What a weird week. Like all around, pop culturally, it was a weird week. So take a breath and make right decisions. Make good decisions about technology, because it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. We're gonna go before technology goes. So, the decisions we make now are going to be the decisions that our kids are either going to completely reject in the future or completely embrace in the future. So do what you have to do, ladies and gentlemen. There is no wrong decision. There is no wrong choice, I assure you. But if you don't choose what I choose, you're wrong. I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Again, this is Tootie's Toy Box. Please do me a favor. If you like this episode, leave a thumbs up. If you like this channel, please follow it. I am looking for 800 subscribers by the end of the year. If that's you, let's go. I'd appreciate it. And again, I will see you guys next week. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week and weekend. Please stay cool out there and hydrate. Bye.